Good morning. Thanks again for tuning into the Business Sense channel. Today I wanted to show you guys how to indirectly invest into the cannabis industry and make a steady stream of ongoing cash flow. Okay? These are indirect ways of making money in the cannabis sector right now as we speak. And the three securities that I want to discuss today, two of them are big tobacco companies who have made huge stakes in cannabis. The third one is an exchange traded fund by the name of the Alternative Harvest Fund. Okay, it's an ETF. Okay, so anyway, let's get started. The first company goes by the name of Altria Group. Altria's symbol is MO, okay? Altria is AKA Philip Morris USA. Philip Morris USA, they made a huge stake into one of the largest cannabis companies in the world by the name of Cronos Group, okay? They made a $1.8 billion stake in Cronos Group, which afforded them a 45% stake in Cronos, all right? They also have the option to exercise warrants to increase that stake to a 55% stake moving forward. So anyway, Cronos Group, their symbol is CRON. Okay, they're a pretty nice play as well. I wasn't going to discuss too much about the Cronos Group because Cronos Group is not a dividend stock, okay? It's a growth stock at this point. But it is a pretty decent investment. It's only about $1 and change off of its 52-week low, okay? So it is a nice stock. But I'm talking about Altria because Altria, investing into Altria is going to give you steady cash flow, all right? Now, Altria, basically, I also failed to mention Altria also is in the reduced risk product space, all right? They also have a 35% stake in Juul, the e-cigarette company Juul. They also just came out with a partnership with Philip Morris International to co-launch the IQOS system here in the U.S. It started in Atlanta. Some of you that are from the Atlanta area, you've probably seen the new IQOS store in the Lenox Mall. Okay, that's all, that's a collaboration between Philip Morris USA, Altria, and Philip Morris International. Okay, that's how they're able to spit out those dividends, that cash flow. Okay, these are some of their products. This is Chateau Saint Michelle Wine Estates, which is one of the top 10 wine producers in the country. Okay, they have a lot of high-end wine, Stag's Leap, 14 Hands, real good wines. My wife loves this one. This is the Riesling. Okay, very good. Also, everyone heard of these. Okay, this is where the cash flow comes from. That's how the game works. Okay, marijuana is a new industry. It's not there yet. That's being funded by these cash flow products. That's where the dividends come in. Okay, so their dividend payment, Altria's dividend payment, the dividend yield is 6.75%. Okay, that's a dividend payment of 0.84 cents a share. So 84 cents a share would be your dividend payment for the amount of monies that you invest in Altria company. Okay, but investing into Altria, you get that across the line product exposure, and that is an indirect way of investing into cannabis. Okay, and they will soon have a 55% stake in Cronos Group. Okay, the second stock that I wanted to share with you guys is Imperial Tobacco Group. That symbol is IMBBY. That's IMBBY. Okay. Now, they made an investment, a huge investment also in a company by the name of Auxly Cannabis Group. Okay, it's a little smaller than Cronos, but they're very similar in the way that they do business. You probably haven't even heard of Auxly Group. I mean, maybe you have, maybe you haven't. But when Cannabis 1.0 came out in Canada, that was when Canada first legalized marijuana. That was considered Cannabis 1.0. Auxly was one of those companies that stayed under the radar. Not a lot of people knew them unless you were kind of in the industry and you had a little bit of, a little more facts than everyone else. But now you're going to start hearing more about Auxly Cannabis Group. One, because Imperial Tobacco Brands has invested in them. And two, because now they're on the scene strong, because now this just started Cannabis 2.0. And Cannabis 2.0 is all about the products that were not available in the Cannabis 1.0 set off. Okay, so now you have your vapes, you have your edibles, you have your cannabis infused beverages, the list goes on, chocolates, you name it. That's what Cannabis 2.0 is all about. Okay, it's not only about flower, just a smokable flower, which was in Cannabis 1.0. 2.0 is about everything cannabis now. So that is all legal throughout Canada, and that's where Auxly comes in. And their business models are very, very similar. Auxly and Cronos Group have very, very similar business models, and obviously that's why Big Tobacco took a huge stake in each one of them. So Imperial Brands invested $123 million into Auxly Group, okay? Auxly Cannabis Group, all right? Now that's roughly a 20% stake in Auxly, which is pretty sizable, all right? It has a smaller market cap than Cronos, so they didn't need as large of an investment to get, a nice stake in the company. But they also made another acquisition, meaning Imperial Brands made another acquisition with Oxford Cannabinoid Technologies. Okay, they're over in London, in the London area. So now Auxly, what makes Auxly good? What makes Imperial Tobacco Group good is they have a very, very heavy dividend. Their dividend is 10.27%. That's 38 cents a share, okay? And it's only trading a little over $25 a share right now. They were giving out an extra 10% dividend yield per year, but they just cut that back, which is probably a really good thing because you want this remaining dividend to be sustainable for many, many years to come. That's where the cash flow is going to come from. So, products that Imperial Brands put out are, you may have heard of My Blue and, the Blue cigarettes. They have Cools, Winston's, Salem, a lot of people, that are into the marijuana thing now. You probably heard of Backwoods, Phillies, Dutch Masters. All of that is Imperial Tobacco Group. So, sizable dividend, not a very expensive stock right now. I'm not invested in Imperial Brands. However, I am invested into Altria Group. I've been invested into Altria Group on and off for many years. Okay, but both nice plays. I'm not recommending again that you go out and buy any of these. These are just informational purposes. Just something that I want to share with you guys, and maybe you can find some value in it. Do your homework. You don't have to go and pull the trigger, today or tomorrow. Watch these things. Watch the stock prices for a while and see if some of them may work for you. All right. So I'm going to dive into the third alternative for cannabis cash flow, and that is the Alternative Harvest Fund. That symbol is ticker symbol MJ. Okay, that is considered an ETF. It's not a stock. It's an ETF. An ETF is an exchange traded fund, okay? But it trades like a stock. So you can buy it the same way that you buy any other security. You put your money in, you place your trade, boom, it's executed. That's all you have to do. All right. Now, the alternative harvest fund is also at a decent price right now. It's trading roughly a little over $17 a share right now. All right. So it's only a dollar and change off of its 52-week low. All right. A lot of these stocks are trading pretty attractively because we hit like a marijuana bubble. And, there's like looming bankruptcies in the industry. A lot of consolidation going on in the industry. But the beauty of what I'm telling you today is that big tobacco has already done the due diligence, and they have the cash flows to make these companies successful. They were already successful on their own, but they're even going to be even more successful with the help and the push, that these companies need. That wind behind your sails that's just pushing you into the future. But this is the way that you cash flow marijuana. You invest a little money and you'll get that steady stream of cash flow for years to come. That's how I play the game. I do have some individual stocks that I invest in for growth. Like Auxly would be one of them to invest for growth. Auxly's stock right now is about 48 to 50 cents. It's pretty cheap. All right. Last week it was down even lower than that. That's considered a penny stock. Both Auxly and Imperial Brands, they both trade on the over the counter exchange. They're not on the New York Stock Exchange or the NASDAQ Stock Exchange. They're on the over the counter stock exchange. And the reason that Imperial Brands is on the over the counter stock exchange is because it's a foreign security. Okay, it doesn't mean that the company is not safe. It doesn't mean that it's going out of business tomorrow. That's just how a lot of foreign companies that don't want to pay the hefty costs of the NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange, they'll just trade on the over the counter. But anybody that knows Imperial Tobacco Group, they've been around for a lot of years, and they've been paying dividends for a lot of years. So it's a pretty safe play for those who are interested in it and want to investigate it further. So those are the three picks that you can invest in. Altria's is trading roughly around $50 a share, little more expensive. Imperial Brands around 25, and ticker symbol MJ, the Alternative Harvest Fund, a little over 17. So they're not ridiculously expensive, but everyone knows the banking system is not giving you much interest on your money, and this is a way that you can pay bills with dividends. You can store $10,000-$15,000 in a dividend paying stock and just have it spit you out cash flow, or you can reinvest those dividends. You play it the way you need to play it, but I just wanted to share some options on how you can play this thing. So please subscribe. I look forward to some of the comments. I have been reading some of the comments, and I'll keep digging and come up with creative ways that you can all take advantage of to increase your income, to play this investment game. Again, the ultimate goal is to add value to the community, add value and increase economic participation. So thanks again for tuning into my channel, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.